So tell me, what's your name?
My name's Chuck Reed.
Wonderful. Tell me about your beautiful car.
It's a 32 Ford. I've had it for about 15 years now. I found it in New York. It was an uncompleted car. I had it shipped here, and I got it rolling like this a couple years ago, and I bring it to car shows all the time. I'm a sign painter and an artist. I painted this can, and all these badges on here are all the shows I bring the car to. And this is a fun little car. Now, I got into cars. My dad brought me to drag strip when I was young, and drag racing and that counterculture and Ed Roth stuff is, grew up on that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Well, I really appreciate your passion for cars in general. And so, if I could ask you too, how many man hours did you put in order to restore this beautiful piece?
More than I wanted to. That's going to be the answer. But they're a labor of love. This one isn't highly refined. Some of them are more refined. So it's how much money do you have is really how much time you're going to put into it.
Naturally. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time.
So you're welcome. Yeah, you have to give me your handle so I can see that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you also have like a page or an
I
IG?
have a Facebook page.
Yeah, because what we can do is we can link you into our channel, like the episode as well.
So your name, sir?
Steve Matarino.
And tell us about your car.
Mine's a 1966 Mustang. It's been originated in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, and actually redone in Arizona. Paint is actually lacquer, not water-based like you get to do here in California.
Okay. What's the advantage of that?
The color, it'll stay better.
Okay.
It won't I guess, fade out as quick as a regular water-based versus lacquer,
Okay.
which I keep it garaged. So this has kind of been, it's original motor in it, but there's upgrades. Added power steering, didn't have that before. Power disc brakes, and aftermarket AC a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So that's, it has a factory air conditioning in it unit, but it's a aftermarket pump. And redid the radiator in it. So basic car's been redone. Only has 3,000 miles on a rebuilt motor. So it's been enjoyed just doing the cruises,
Now, why the Mustang? Have you always been a Mustang fan? Because I've been a Mustang fan my whole life.
I had a 66 Fastback in high school. So actually I bought this from my neighbor. She had it in her garage and use it. And she asked me to help her sell it. And I decided to buy it after looking at all the restoration modification she did on it. And here I am.
Awesome. What's next for you? Is this do you have another project car in mind?
Actually, yes. I'm a Mustang lover, but this is kind of like my starter. So my dream is a 69 Camaro convertible,
Okay.
or we're looking at early 911s, the 72, 74, 911 Ts or S, target top.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, so tell me, what's your name?
Michael Moore.
And tell me about your car.
This is a 1923 T-Bucket. It's got a small block Chevy in it, BDS 671 blower on it. Pushing out just about 700 horsepower on this one. It's got a Jaguar rear end in it. And I built this thing up from the ground up myself. It's my second one.
Wonderful. So how many man hours did you have to put in to complete this project?
It's endless. And it's still not done. Yeah.
I love it. So tell me, what got you into cars?
You know, I grew up with cars even in high school. I had a 69 El Camino, and got out of that. I got into boats. I got into drag racing, worked with top alcohol funny cars, and then decided I wanted to build a T-Bucket. This is my second one. Built one back in the 90s, and I showed it through RG Canning for a couple of years, did real well with it. And my wife passed away, so I ended up selling that one and told my fiance now I wanted to build another one, and I did this one.
There you go. Love lives on. I love it. I love it. That's great. So beyond this vehicle, what's the next project?
41 Willies. I want to do a big block in it, probably the same color. So this is my fiance's favorite color. So, but I love the 41 Willies. I'll keep this one. This is and just keep adding to this.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Bruce Parks.
Awesome.
I live in Balboa.
Okay. And tell us about your car.
Oh, it's a 32 three-window high boy, and the high boy means that the frames, the body's on top of the frame. It's got a Chevy drivetrain. It's black satin with the red interior, and I've had it 13 years.
Awesome.
And I go to all the car shows. Been in 3 magazines, and
Okay.
it's a well-known deuce.
Okay.
But that's what it is.
Is this your first restore?
Yeah, this is my. I've had it, like I say, 13 years.
Okay.
And initially it had the interior, but I did everything else: paint, the engine, striping.
Wow.
Basically, that's the only thing was just the interior. But I worked for there.
Okay. And why this particular model?
Well, it's a 32, which is probably the most of all the. The 32 is the most popular, and it's a 3-window, and I've always wanted a 3-window 30.
Okay.
So I bought it, and here it is.
Okay. And
Yeah.
you've always been in cars?
Pardon me?
You've always been into cars?
Oh yeah, I got a 72 Chevy
Oh,
truck.
awesome. Okay.
I had a 96 SS. Yeah, I'm a car guy.
Awesome. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. You'll pass? No worries.
Can we still
Thank you again.
capture the car though? Huh? Can we still film the car?
Oh sure. Good. So when is it going to be on?
So this should come out. We put out a video every week.
Okay.
So this should be coming out next Saturday or Sunday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Two bald guys.
Two bald dudes.
Okay,
We
two.
have let me if you have a the QR code will get you right to our, on your phone. If you want to scan it, it'll go right into the YouTube page.
Well, I don't have my phone.
Okay, no worries.
Hi, what's your name?
Bob Castro.
And tell me about your car.
It's a 2014 Yanko Camaro. It was built in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania. It's 420 aluminum 427. Makes 975 horsepower.
Wow, that's amazing. It's very fast. So what got you into cars?
I've been into cars since high school. First car was a Chevelle El Camino, and I've done cars my whole life.
Excellent. So tell me about the doors and everything else that you put into this.
Well, it's the hood scoop just helps to get the air in, and that's one of the extras that are on there. It's got the Krager-like wheels. Doors are by vertical doors, and it just makes it easier to get in and out of it, and they look nice.
They do.
And
I love it. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yes.
have a good day.
You too.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
So what's your name?
Don Baca.
And tell me about your car.
Well, it's I've had it since 1988, and it's kind of been restored. You know, almost like maybe 30, 35 years or something like that. It's a 2-year-old, '68 Mustang. Got a big block engine in and stuff like that. I got the hooker package, regulator, and then I got the headers and stuff like that. So it's makes it unique because of the 1968 movie Bullet which is Steve McQueen.
Yes.
So that was one of my, great, I guess, assets, whatever, that to know that Steve McQueen, kind of made that car famous and everything. So.
I love it. So is that kind of what got you into cars?
No, actually, I mean, I've been, I come from, old school, grew up in the 60s, 70s, so I knew the muscle car, the GTO, and then I had a 71 Nova, and it just, from high school and that, progressed, and then I got a chance to buy this car, and I purchased it for like $500 and stuff like that, so it's been kind of a a love, whatever, if you're into cars.
Yeah.
If you grew up like that, your father, and, that's kind of like what missing. I was telling this guy, having that father-son relationship to be able actually to work on cars. And a lot of kids nowadays don't have that anymore because if you know how to fix electric cars, that's another story.
That's a whole different animal
Yeah,
nowadays.
you don't have that, that bonding anymore.
I
Yeah,
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your
Okay.
time. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So hey, what's your name?
I'm Darren. How are you?
Good. I'm doing good. So tell me about your car.
This is a 75 C10 short bed half ton. It was just a cool looking original paint job and stuff. And I like little short beds. I like the step side on it. I like the patina that was on it. Decided to buy it and lower the thing and put some clear coat to kind of preserve it and just have like a cool, cheap, easy driver.
I love it. So speaking of the clear coat and the character and detail you put in, I see you did like an antique kind of rust look. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, this is how it looked actually when I got it. The rust was a little thick where you see it's kind of got that reddish, brownish looking rust. So all I did was I wet sanded it a little bit just to knock it down so it wouldn't be coarse. And then when we sprayed it, it was nice and smooth, and it just shows that it's an original truck. It's original paint. It's its original state, except just kind of lowered and dressed up a little bit. And it's a little sportier now.
Well, I think it's absolutely gorgeous the way it is. It adds a lot of character and flair. Now, tell me about these tires here. What's going on with these rims?
Okay, so these are 20s. 20-inch wheels are really popular right now. Kind of cool. They're solid one piece. It's a popular look on a lot of hot rods, especially pickups right now.
It looks sexy.
Thanks, dude. Thank you. And the low-profile tires, and wide tires, it's just good for handling and that sort of thing. So besides the look, we got something that does handle well.
I appreciate it. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, too.
Your name, sir?
George.
And tell us about your car.
So 65 Buick Rearview Nailhead, 425. Spot off a good friend of mine that couldn't get it in anymore. It was too low. He had bad knees, so I was able to pick it up off him and take it off his hands.
Is this your first restore? What else have you restored?
I got a 55 Chevy with a big block in it.
Very cool. Chevy.
210.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. And have you always been into cars?
For about 25 years.
What was your first classic?
1969 Chevelle.
Awesome. And what's the next project?
That's it. According to my wife over there, that's it.
It gets expensive, I know. I'm
It
sure.
does. It's fun, though.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
All right, appreciate it, man. Your name, sir?
It's Johnny.
And tell us about your car.
It's a 64 Super Sport. It's bagged. It's got a ZZ 383 in it. The paint, man, all leather interior, sound, owns everything, but that's about it. Actually, it's my wife's car.
Okay, is it?
Yeah, I got a '67 Chevy too, but this is hers.
Okay.
I came across this one basically about 90% done. I was at a car show like this, and the guy came by, and I ended up buying it.
At the show?
Yeah, at the show.
Very cool.
I was going to flip it because I got a really good deal on it, and when I got it home, my wife said, it's mine. It had to be my anniversary.
Nice. Is this well, this isn't your first project then, right?
Oh, no. I got Harleys, other cars and stuff, yeah.
Okay, what kind of Harley?
It's a Heritage 03.
Okay, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, it's all custom done.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the next project, you think?
Cleaning these.
Yeah.
That's a job in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all right. Yeah, you know, get away from the house, you know.
Absolutely.
Come out here and support a good cause.
Good. Awesome.
You know, nice job you guys are doing. That's good. Two bald guys,
Two
huh?
bald dudes.
Two bald dudes.
Two bald dudes. TBD.
Okay. I go on YouTube all the time.
It starts in St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City, look mighty pretty. See Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona, Kingman, Boston, San Bernardino, you get hip to this tiny town. We're gonna take that California trip. Get
I am Filipino.
So what's your name?
Ryan Hicks.
So tell me about your car.
It's a 1970 Camaro, bought it 1996. Actually, guy down the street was selling it for $8,000. Basically looked like this, all tubbed out, and back half, this is the original motor that was in it. We've just been maintaining it and keeping it going. Was a street car that made it into a car, was racing at the track, and now back to a street car. So
I love it. So what got you into these hot rods?
Our guy growing up, he had hot rods and just kind of builds from there. So
I love it. Now, if I may ask, what created this yellow concept? I know you got Tweety here. Tell me about that.
Well, the car was always yellow, and then my kids started calling it Tweety Bird. So I used to have a big stuffed Tweety that went into it too. So yeah, they kind of started that license plate I've had for probably 20 years or so. Some guy at a swap meet painted it. So yeah, that's pretty much came from my kids.
So how many like man hours came into like basically perfecting and polishing off this beautiful piece?
There's always work to do on this thing. So it's always something or another. The other day, about a month ago, I was getting ready to take it out, and the water pump blew off of it. So replaced the water pump, put a new alternator. It's always got something going on it.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
You too. Now look how polished that is. That is gorgeous. The attention to detail, the shine, the time it took into to polish off an engine. As beautiful as this is where art comes into play. This is a masterpiece.
Tell us your name, sir.
Gary Humphreys.
And tell us about your car.
This is 63 23 window. I had one stolen 35 years ago. It's still on my phone. I mean, it's actually right on my phone right there back behind. And the reason why it's on my phone is I've looked for it for 35 years.
Yeah.
This came up a year and a half ago on the Samba, which is the Volkswagen site. And while I'm on the phone talking to the guy who owned it, my wife's making airline reservations for me to go up there. She says, I'm tired of you bitching and moaning about it. Make sure you go get it. So I went up there and I bought it that day.
Wow.
And had it brought it home. It is a wonderful car. The guy spent 9 years.
Okay.
So I've actually bought something done.
Completely restored.
who does those things.
Yeah.
So my son made this Gary's Garage
Okay.
kind of with humor,
Yeah.
saying your dad usually the guy doing it.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to get my car back.
Yeah.
That was stolen, and it's the right color. It's beachy, and then all through the years I've started to collect toys that people have given me for
Yeah.
gifts, but it really is it's a wonderful thing because it's a beach car.
Yeah. So what is it about the bus that you like so much?
The shape.
Yeah.
And the stories. I've had people come up now and say, when I was 6, my grandfather took me, and my grandmother took me. There's always stories about buses.
Okay.
And now the new one's coming out
Yeah.
in,
Right.
in 2024
Right.
called the ID Buzz. I want one.
Yeah.
But I want one this color.
Okay.
So I can park it right here.
Do you know if they're going to be coming out with one?
I
this
hear they
color?
are.
Okay.
I hear they are. I've had so many of them
Yeah.
over the years
Oh, wow.
that I like the shape. I like the way they drive.
Okay.
55, 60 in the freeway. That's it.
Yeah.
But it's again, it's always this.
Yeah.
So it's the stories.
What's the next project besides that 2024? Do you have another bus in mind or another?
Actually,
project coming up?
I have a 62 356 Porsche
Okay.
that I bought right after I bought this, and I'm thinking about selling that and buying another one of these.
Oh, cool. Okay.
That's lowered and slammed, all the stuff that
The whole-
people do to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That would be a driver that you can drive faster than 55.
Right.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
This has been fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you,
Hey.
sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You have yourself a good day. Tell us your name, sir,
Eric Johnson.
and tell us about the car.
It's a 53 Kaiser Manhattan, Dragon. It used to be a Manhattan, and then it put the Kaiser badging on it. I got it because my parents both had one when I was young,
okay.
and it's kind of the only good memories I have. And then I had one in the 80s that I really liked, and I sold it because I couldn't take care of it.
Okay.
But the great thing about a Kaiser is that the styling of it. It's Dutch Darren designed it, and the reason that it went out of business that you don't know about them is the big three wouldn't sell them a V8.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Plymouth, Ford, Chevrolet.
Yeah.
They were supposed to get an Oldsmobile engine, but Oldsmobile backed out, and so it's that tractor motor.
Oh, wow.
But it's got a supercharger in it, and it moves good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this your first restore? Have you done? Others?
No, you know what I did is it came in this shape,
Okay.
but I did a lot to the engine. I did all the brakes. I put disc brakes on the front.
Okay.
Put power steering on it because I'm twice the man and half the strength as I was. But it's really a fun car. I like when you're at a car show and people come up and go, "What is that?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And a couple of guys in the car club, they call it a German Chevrolet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Kaiser.
Kaiser. Yeah.
But it really handles well on the road. It's incredible.
Okay.
It's real smooth. People like it.
Yeah.
Chicks like it.
Of course.
How can you not go right with that? Yeah.
And your car club, Legends, tell us about the
Legends Car Club. It's based in San Pedro. It's been around since 2002.
Okay.
And the president and all the guys are hanging out over there. And what we do is we have shows. We're having one on the 28th of August at Point Fermin in San Pedro.
Yeah.
We raise money for the community. That's our whole thing, is just to hang out and raise money for the community.
Very cool.
Yep.
So the whole car club and other cars will be and that's over there by Walker's.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Walker's is closed though, unfortunately.
really?
Yeah, the
How
best
long ago?
burger around.
You don't mind? I'm part of a motorcycle club, and we used to ride PV
All the
and the
time.
Walkers.
Oh yeah.
Hang out right there.
That
yeah.
Bessie burger
Yeah.
was the best,
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
it? Yeah.
How long ago did they close?
For us, about 6. I think COVID hit them pretty hard.
Okay.
But we'll be there, and then, like I said, we raise money for the community. I'm a sculptor, so I donate.
wow. Okay.
I donate a lot of artwork, and but it's good to be with a group of guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What kind of art? What kind of sculpture?
It's how to say it. It's abstract,
Okay.
resin and wood. It's like big DNA strands.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
make
yeah.
20-foot DNA strands.
Oh, very cool.
I made a piece of maize corn, 14 feet tall,
Oh, wow.
8 feet wide, 378 individual pieces, and I had people from all over the world come in and make them. So you got to pick like Like if you had something from your parents, one of your parents that passed away, you'd put it in there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And as far as cars go, what's the next project for you think?
No, this is the last car.
That's
I've
the last
had about
car.
30.
Okay.
I
Oh,
still,
30?
Yeah, I still
Okay.
have a 39 Chevy panel truck.
Okay.
That I've had since I was 17, and I completely restored it, every nut and bolt, frame off. I've got a small block Chevy, 3 deuces,
Yeah.
power steering, power brakes. But I got the Kaiser because when I'm going down the road, I can see if there's a car next to me.
Yeah.
In the panel truck, you can't.
Yeah,
You have to
yeah,
change lanes by acceleration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate
all right.
it. Tell us your name, sir.
My name is Richard Van Eyck.
And tell us about the car.
It's a 1970 Hemi Cuda convertible. It's got a 426 engine in it, a 4-speed transmission, 363 rear end, and it's got 26,000 original miles on it.
Okay. And why the CUDA for you?
Dream car. And I didn't get it in 1970, but I've had it about 9 years.
Okay.
Took a lot of work. I flipped a bunch of different cars and finally got a dealer in Texas to take 2 of my Mopars in exchange for this and cash.
Right. Have you always been a Mopar guy?
Always. My stepdad was a Dodge mechanic when I was growing up.
Okay.
So it's always been Mopar, no car.
No. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. And what's the next project for you?
None.
None?
I'm retired from work. Second year I've been retired. Just having fun with this car.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, this is what I always wanted. I worked my way up there by flipping cars, making a few bucks, making a few bucks, making a few bucks plus, you know.
Yeah.
And so I got it to where I could get this.
That is awesome. Well, it's a beautiful car. I love the CUDAs. Nash Bridges, you know, the yellow CUDA.
I listen to Nash Bridges just to hear. I'd watch that show just to hear the engine.
Yeah.
Brrrr, just to do that. I still I tape it at home.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's on,
Very
on
cool. That's
Direct
awesome.
TV. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right.
We'll see you again next time.
Okay.
All right.
take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye bye.
Tell us your name, sir.
My name is Dave.
And can you tell us a little bit about the car?
Yeah, it's a 1950 Ford F1. I actually bought it off of eBay, if you can believe that,
Really?
a couple years ago,
Okay.
and had it shipped out here, and from Illinois.
Okay.
And it's got the purists hate me because it's got a Chevy drivetrain in it.
Yeah.
It's got an LS1 motor, a 4L60 transmission, 8.5-inch rear end. It's on an ST frame, and it's on airbags, obviously, and Since I got it, I've added air conditioning. I had the graphics painted on the doors, had the interior redone, repainted. So I kind of made it my own.
Cool. Now tell us about the rusted look of it.
The
You kept it
the patina look.
The patina, there you go.
Yep. I like them old and crusty. I mean, yes, granted, these cars are beautiful.
Yeah.
But I like the old patina crusty look. I say it's old and crusty like me.
There you go.
But yeah, I just like the look.
Okay.
You know, it's a fun little truck.
Yeah.
Me and the wife take it out. We try to go to car shows. We're actually from Temecula, so
Oh,
we
wow.
drove up here.
Okay. Did you drive the car? Or did
Yes.
you trailer that?
Nope.
Drove it?
Nope. Yeah, drove it up. Runs
Okay.
runs great with that that modern drivetrain.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
it fires right up and. Anyway,
And
so
the logo on the car, on the doors?
what I did is I since it's a 1950, right after World War II, Korean War and that, I decided I wanted a like a work truck,
Sure.
Like a shop truck.
Yeah.
So I went with the like a war surplus theme,
Yeah, that's very cool.
bombshell,
Yep.
like the nose art on the old World War II aircrafts,
Yeah.
so bombshell for the war surplus, and then also they called pinup girls like that back then. They called them bombshells.
Yep.
So it kind of had a double meaning.
That's
so.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What's next for you? Is this your final project, or is there another?
No, years ago I had a '55 Buick, all restored. It was beautiful, but I never drove it because my
Yeah.
kids were little. I was so busy with my kids,
Yeah.
so I sold it, and now my kids are grown and they're gone. And I told my wife I wanted to get an old truck. She's like, "Do it,"
That's cool.
So she supported me in the idea. And as far as the truck, I got a few more things I want to do, but it's my little hot rod.
Very awesome. Well, thank you. I
Oh,
appreciate it, sir.
thank you. Thank you.
Oh, hi audience. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode on Classic Cars. Stay tuned for next week for more amazing content.
Two Bald Dudes.